Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Now I've left this video late and not on purpose. I totally forgot I hadn't made a video on the Premier League predictions. It's back tonight, Man U versus Fulham. I do think Fulham will shock a few fans this year. I think Fulham will do quite well. But we're not here for game week predictions, which we probably should be. We are here for Premier League predictions, late as ever. But who cares? This is not the order that I'm going in. This is just what it's been put in straight away. Now, first, I do have 20th Southampton, and I am just going to keep it like that because I think Southampton will finish bottom. They have today just signed Cameron Archer, but I don't think he'll be enough to keep the Saints up, and I do think they will finish 20th. Now, 18th, I do think it'll be Leicester City. I don't think Leicester have got it in them to stay up. I think they're probably going to get a point deduction as well. So I can see it being pretty tough for Leicester. So I think Leicester will go down, unfortunately. Nottingham Forest, I think, will finish 18th. I think they'll have a mixed match season, to be honest. I don't really, apart from Elliot Anderson, I think they've signed one other player. I don't really know who they've brought in this summer. Yeah, they're always bringing a lot of players, but I do think this is Forest season to go down. Now, 15th, if it'll let me. 15th, sorry, 17th, Jesus Christ, this is a shambles. 17th is Brentford. I think Brentford will struggle this season. Ivan Toney didn't actually have a good season last season. Yes, he was banned till like February, but he didn't actually play that well when he did come back. He scored on his debut back, but that was about it really. But I think Brentford will stay up. 16th, Ipswich. Everyone's predicting that will finish bottom. I do not see that happening. I think Ipswich are a very strong side, and they've just even strengthened today in Calvin Phillips and Sammy Smods. So I think they'll have a good season back in the Premier League. And it's good to see a new face in the Prem. 15th, I've went Everton. I think they'll have a solid season. Nothing too fancy, but, they'll solidate and they'll just, it's what Sean Dyche does. He doesn't play fancy football, but I think he'll get the job done and just stay mid-table. 14th, I've went Wolves. They haven't really strengthened. They've actually lost Pedro Neto, which is huge. Obviously, they lost Neves last summer. They haven't really replaced Neto as far as I'm aware, so they're going to have to try and sign someone to replace him. But they got a lot of money for him, so they have got some money there to spend, I suppose. And they lost Max Kilman as well, which was massive. So I might have put Wolves a bit high here. They might get relegated, who knows? But I think as it stands, they'll finish 14th. 13th, I've went Fulham. I think Fulham will have a decent season. Obviously, Rodrigo Muniz having a good season last season. They've obviously lost Tosin Adebayor. I can never say his name. So they've lost and they've lost Willian as of recording today. He's officially left. So I do think they'll struggle, but they also brought in Emile Smith Rowe, so I don't think they'll struggle. I think they'll just solidate. Again, most of these teams that I'm saying probably will just stay where they are, to be honest, and they'll just float in the Premier League. They can't compete with Europe, but they'll probably just float. 12th, I've went Bournemouth. Solanke, obviously gone. It's going to be massive, but I do think I'm just gonna whiz through these because it's going to get boring me saying, I think they'll just stay. 11th, I've went Brighton. New manager, good team, probably do quite decent. But I don't see any higher than 11th. But yeah, it should be a good season for them. 10th, I've went for West Ham. I think with all these signings, I think it'll be a struggle for them. As in, it might take a season or half a season to get the team playing, but then after half a season, they might start playing, but it might be too late by then, if you get what I mean. But yeah, I think West Ham, they could get Europe. I'm not saying they won't get Europe. I'm just saying right now, I do think they'll finish banging mid-table. 9th, I've went Newcastle. A lot of people thinking they're going to get top top 4, top 6 this year, and I can see it happening, but I think there's just too strong of other teams out there, and Newcastle have a good core squad, but the actual full 25-man squad isn't as strong as their 15 men that normally play. Obviously, I know it's 11, but you know, the subs and stuff. So I think they'll finish 9th. 8th, I've went for Chelsea. They're just going to, let's be honest, Enzo Maresca probably won't make it past Christmas, and then he'll get sacked, and then it'll be Graham Potter again, then it'll be Frank Lampard again. I mean, Chelsea are just a mess of a club, aren't they? They've got so many talented players, but Todd Bowley has no Scooby-Doo of what he's doing at all. 7th, probably my most surprising one, is Crystal Palace. I really enjoyed the way they played last season towards the end. Obviously, losing Elise is massive, but I do think Ismail Sarr, he won't fill the boots of Elise, but he will do a very good job. And if they can keep Eze and Gehi, obviously Gehi's looking incredibly unlikely now going to Newcastle, but if they can keep him, I think they could finish in Europe, and people are going to absolutely slate me for that one, and I'm ready for it. Just remember, guys, it's an opinion, not a fact. 6th, Man United. They're just not what they were 10, 12 years ago. But yeah, no, I think they'll finish 6th. They've signed De Ligt, they've signed Marawazi. They need a striker, realistically, because Højlund looks like he's quite injury prone, but he's a good striker. But yeah, I think they'll get Europa League. 5th, I've went for Tottenham. Obviously signed Solanke. They've just signed Odegaard. They've signed Archie Gray. I'm probably missing another few players. Jed Spence is now looking like he's going to stay. So I think they'll have a very, very good season. Don't get me wrong, I could see them pushing for Champions League football. I could see it happening, but I do think the other 4 teams are just stronger. So I think they'll finish 5th. 4th, I went for Villa. They've signed a lot of young prospects this summer, but very good young prospects, and I think they will just do what they did last season and finish 4th. 3rd, I've went Liverpool. This is touch and go. I think either Liverpool will either finish in the top 4 or they will finish mid-table because of the new regime and the new manager, and it can either go one or two ways, and I do think it'll go 3rd place, and even though they haven't signed anyone, their team's very strong. So 3rd, Liverpool. 2nd, I'm went for Arsenal. They've signed Calafiori, and I'm pretty sure they signed another player. Oh yeah, they signed Raya on a permanent. So you know, they've strengthened. They'll probably get 1 or 2 more faces through the door before the end of the summer, but they don't really need to. Their team's very, very strong. So yeah, I think they'll just miss out again, unfortunately. And I do think Man City, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but I think they'll win again for the 5th year in a row, I think. It's so boring, but they're just so good, and it's so annoying. But I do think City will win it, unfortunately. Unless you're a City fan, then it's fortunately. But surely City fans are sick of winning the Prem now. Like, yes, City didn't even play well last season, as in not one of their best seasons, and they still managed to win the league. It just shows you how much of a juggernaut they are, as Mark Goldbridge would say. Anyways, stop my blabbering. The Premier League is back tonight. Who's excited? I definitely am. And before I leave the end of the video, let's talk about FPL. Now, FPL, let's be honest, we all do it for about 2 weeks, forget about it, and never go back. But this is my FPL team. Let me know in the comments what you think of the FPL team, what can be improved, and what is your FPL team like. Now, if you want, I can make an FPL league. If the demand is high and people are wanting it, I will make one, and we'll get people in the team, and why not? Let's have an FPL battle. But let's be honest, I've left this video way too late. It'll probably get 5 views because I'm absolutely stupid for waiting until the actual day of the season. But who cares? I hope you have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.